Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well. I'm gonna put you in the bag, and we'll talk some astrology. Uh, I'm still here, but yeah, I'll put you in the bag. All right. Hope you're all doing well. Hopefully should be able to hear me. I wanted to jump on and talk a little bit about the vibes. We've got a really interesting sort of lineup here of energies, and specifically the Mercury retro in Libra with the Pluto squaring Mercury is rather particular, and I'm definitely feeling it. Feel free to share if you guys have been tapping into the energies there with that, how you've been feeling with that. But I've been sort of meditating on the energy, and it just feels very kind of floaty. And this is, of course, my perspective, but it feels very ethery, like we're floating somewhere on ether. It's like we're not yet grounded or arrived. And so it kind of is interesting because if we're looking at the transits, we've got during this period Mercury retro, and not only that, but other overlapping influences. And so it's all kind of like a collective story of transits, and with that comes some pretty interesting conversations planetarily. Primarily, we're looking at Venus and Pluto more. This is my personal interpretation. See these energies in the spotlight, and I don't know what it is, but it just feels kind of like, even like a little like, it feels random. It feels a little random. Can you guys hear me? It said no, sir. There is a void, of course. All right, let's go back in. Hopefully you guys were catching what we were talking about there, but oh well, if you didn't, just feel it through. But yeah, the moon is currently void in Cancer, which makes things even further weird, further accentuated. And we're talking about how you feel the afterglow of the full moon in Aquarius, in Pisces. I said that twice now, so it's to say that every cycle lives upon another. It's really hard to say that it's just about one cycle, one transit. Even when we shift signs, even when we go to the next full moon, a so-called month later, what really happened there? We're talking about the entire cycle building off of the last full moon. So this full moon in Pisces was hitting on the full moon in Aquarius a month prior. So yes, we're moving in and out of our consciousness in different ways is what I'm hearing. Now, this is a little bit of an interesting time. I was saying in the beginning, I'm not sure if it cut, but it's kind of like we haven't really landed yet. We haven't really grounded with our perceptions. It's very ethery. It's a very ethery energy. And I feel like it's not something that we are like, it's not a conceptual thing. It's more like an awareness. I feel like there's a lot going on, but there's almost like no words to describe it. That's kind of how I'm feeling like essentially right now. But how do you guys feel? How is it for you? How do the energies feel for you, this transit? It's a little weird because I feel the polarity of the Venus and Pluto energies with, Mercury in retro in Libra, which is ruled by Venus, and then Venus, the ruler of Libra, being in Scorpio, which is a little awkward. We're not gonna, frosting on without a cupcake here. Like, it's awkward because they're very different. They're very different energies, and they have different things they want to do and say and feel and express and actualize. And it doesn't make, it wrong or bad. It's just, it could be frustrating. So it's intense. And we have right now, right, then furthermore, Pluto, Mercury is squaring Pluto. Pluto being the ruler of Scorpio. So I feel like there's a lot that's just like under the surface kind of vibe. Like there's a lot that we're feeling, but it's almost like, do we have a means to express? In addition to that, the full moon in Pisces, we are, I'm sure, still feeling, the waves of the moon move in 6-month cycles. So this energy of the full moon will carry us into the next cycle and really for all of eternity. Oh my God, what? What are you talking about, all of eternity? Yeah, energy doesn't disappear, guys, right? So the full moon in Pisces carries us over. It's a whole story. We're just zooming in and out of different sides of it. Doesn't mean that like we read the first chapter, we tear it out and it doesn't exist anymore. It is still. It always has been. We're just reperceiving. So are we filming here? Let me just make sure. Or am I talking to myself again? Buffering. Buffer world. Okay, so. Okay. Well, if it's buffering, it's buffering. If it's not, it's not. It's void, of course, right now in Cancer, but I felt guided to jump on and it's just a weird time a little bit. Can you guys can you put like some kind of emoji or put can you put class? Can you type class? If you can hear like the majority of what I'm saying, just so I know when I come back on, like how badly is it buffering? And then when I'm landed, then I'll check my phone and I'll check the chat transcript. But yeah, it's a very shifty vibe right now, and again, it's not anything that is bad or good or neutral or however. It's just different, right? And so with so much emphasis on, we see an emphasis on air and water here. Specifically, with Libra and Scorpio being at the forefront of these transits here, this week specifically, these energies being at the sort of focal point of the month as well. There is something that we're needing to maybe re-examine, obviously, because especially Mercury's in retro. So, and then we're seeing that square, so it's like, let's come down to it. Let's really look at the awkward McAwkwards. McAwkward of all awkwards. And whatever that is for you, in your reality, what is it that you've been, maybe kind of like subconsciously aware of, but not quite making peace with in some sense. And that's different for everyone, and it's more perceptive. One second, guys. Sorry. Thank you. It's okay. Bye. So, but anyways, it's a little weird because, like, the Scorpio and the Libra have different agendas. Like, Pluto wants to get down to it. Pluto wants to be honest and awkward, and if it needs to be. In order to get honest, it's like, that's not, well, in an extreme sense, right? We're talking extreme to help understand. Pluto, Scorpio is about, let's get down to it. Libra's like, wait, let's make sure it's like gonna like come off in a cute way though. It's like, Pluto's like, fuck that. Cute, what the hell? Come on, we gotta go. It's like, you know, they're different energy impulses. And they're impulses, that's the thing. So it's like, this is our subconscious impulse space, though, that is being reimagined, re-examined. And it is about delivery of that message. But it can feel off a little bit in the moment, like as we are experiencing the galactic shifts and waves. This is how I'm hearing it, and obviously it's also channel message, as it always is. Just FYI, you know, it may not be like in concert with what every astrologer says, and if it's like feeling random, then it's maybe not something that resonating with right now. But this is how I'm interpreting these energies, and I always interpret astrology from a channeled perspective because I approach life from that perspective. Everything is channeled, so I feel like nothing is random. So I have to flow. I don't just logically interpret the transits. So for those who are wondering, but I thought Pluto means this and that, not. It's like, it can, but it, you know, I'm just saying what I'm feeling here. Yeah, okay, like some meteorologists would have like a literal breakdown, okay, but from my perspective, it's more like I'm feeling the waves. That might be a little weird, but yeah, no, I'm like a psychedelic meteorologist. I'm not saying I'm on psychedelics, you guys, but if you consider meditation psychedelic activity, which I think it is in a sense, then yeah. But I'm more like the news anchor closing their eyes and just feeling the weather patterns. So yeah, as an FYI. Obviously, I'm still looking at the transits, but to add to that, it's sort of like the interpretation of all of the waves together. That's the channeling perspective. So, anyways, that, yeah, that's a side note, but because, you know, we could break it down and say, well, Pluto is all about others as finances and others is, but I'm looking at it from the existential standpoint as well, of bringing your reality back to you and the nucleus of why it is that you connect to life in the way you do, why it is that you see your life the way you do, because it's all perspective, why it is that you are feeling the things that you may be feeling around this time, and what that might be pointing to. Oh man, we were on pause. Oh, hey, class. Okay, cool. I see a class here you guys wrote. So, you know, it's not really anything. It's just, it's perspective. And that's what I like astrology for, because it brings us to re-examine. I don't really like the fatalistic astrology of like, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to be. It's like, what does that really mean? It's like how we create that space, right? How we, you know, inspire that to be the case or whatnot. I like it more from the perspective of saying, well, let's take a moment to see how we're perceiving this. And it always, I feel, comes back down to you, or back up to you, back around to you. Give me a second, you guys. One second, guys. Whoa. Mercury retro. Okay. So, anywho's, I wanted to get on and talk about this a little bit because even though it's weird, it just like, it feels like a floaty, ethery energy. There are almost like no words really to describe like what exactly it feels like. It feels like a weird dream state. Does anybody else feel that way? Also, how have your dreams been feeling? How are your dreams feeling? I think I hurt my dreams feelings the other night. What happened? I left the date early. I woke myself up from the dream. Yeah. All right, I don't know why. It's getting psychedelic. It's getting weird. But yeah. So, anywho, guys, let's reconnect on these concepts. maybe again at some point. And the void, of course, will end tonight, and hopefully we'll chat. Hopefully we'll chat soon again. All right, love and light to you guys. Let's clear the ground, and thank you for tuning in to you. 15:44 there on the clock. Try to keep clear and grounded, because there's a lot. It feels very haunted mansion right now, haunted mansion-y. The way that I can describe this is, you know that movie, when they first arrive to the haunted mansion and they feel like there's something going on, but like they cannot necessarily pinpoint it. It's kind of what it's like. It's like, but all right, it's like we know there's something strange going on, kind of vibes, or there's something coming up. So, all right, you guys, love and light. We'll see you in the next